I'd like to call this meeting to order. Mrs. Norian, would you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunshine Law Statement. All statements of all requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met for this meeting of the Board of Education of the Borough of Oradell. Notice of this meeting was filed with the record in Town News and all persons requesting such notice. Mr. Darian, would you read the mission statement?
The Oradell Public School District is dedicated to the ongoing pursuit of educational excellence through comprehensive, innovative curriculum and instruction. The district is committed to providing opportunities for social, emotional, and academic discovery to foster curiosity, courage, and character. Our goal is to prepare our students to become lifelong learners who are self-directed, resilient, productive, responsible citizens.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mrs. Needham,
Here.
Mr. Griffin,
Here.
Mrs. Levy, Mrs. Norian,
Here.
Mrs. Shapiro, Mrs. Walker, Mr. Walsh,
Here.
Mr. Darian,
Here.
Mrs. Nichols.
Here, at this time, we'll open to the public for agenda items only. If you're joining us on Zoom, please raise your digital hand. Okay, not seeing any, we'll move forward. I guess we have one announcement. Maybe Ms. Bozios can tell us how our Odyssey team did.
We will formally recognize the team at our next board meeting. However, I'm very pleased to announce that the team placed 10th in the world out of 76 teams in their division. This team was unlike other teams that we've had in the past. It is comprised of 4 girls. That's it. We've had teams of 7 in the past. So these 4 girls have worked incredibly hard all year, and the international competition this year was fierce. They competed against multiple teams from China, Russia, Poland, Switzerland, Canada. The list went on, and I'm incredibly proud of that team. I know Ms. Sham is as well, and I look forward to seeing them hopefully at next month's board meeting.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you. I forgot to mention, there's been a lot of talk of masks in the news this week in New Jersey, and I spoke to our attorney ahead of time. Just so everyone here knows, the mask mandates that are set for school do not carry over into board meetings. So as far as your comfort tonight, if you want to remove your mask, you can. There is no more social distancing at board meetings, and there's no more occupancy limitations. It's different for during the day, but just so you know. We also are very happy to announce we have hired a new supervisor of special services, Dr. Roth. And if you would like to say a few words, you are welcome to at this time.
Yeah. Hi, good evening. I'm David Roth. It's a pleasure to be part of the community. I'm looking very forward to starting work, and my goal is to begin as quickly as possible. And I just want to thank each person on the board and the community for welcoming into Oradell, and I'm sure it's going to be a great experience. So thank you again.
We're happy to have you.
Thanks.
Try to get here sooner than September 1st. We see on the agenda. Okay, this evening is one of our favorite evenings of the years where we recognize our retirees. We're happy and we're sad. So one of them could not be with us tonight. So I'm going to start with Mr. Thomas Ackerman. We did recognize his years of service. We were not able to get in touch with him, but I'm just going to read his resolution that we're going to be voting on later, and then we'll move forward from there. Let's see. Okay. So for Mr. Thomas Ackerman, whereas Thomas Ackerman has tendered his resignation as a custodian in the Oradell Public School District to become effective February 1st, 2021, after 25 years of service, all of which were spent in dedicated and faithful service to the Oradell Public School District. And whereas he has influenced the lives of all in the community with the care and hard work he devoted to the building and grounds, with his deep understanding, and has earned their love and respect as well as that of their parents and his colleagues. And whereas he has given unselfishly of his time and effort in the interest and welfare of the children of our school district, now therefore be it resolved that the Oradell Board of Education hereby recognizes Mr. Ackerman's contribution to the district and expresses its appreciation of his dedicated services, and directs that this resolution be included in the minutes of the board and that a copy be presented to Mr. Thomas Ackerman as a token of its esteem. So he was not able to be with us tonight, but he was here with us 25 years. We would see him after all the board meetings, almost late at night. We have something, we will find where he is and ship it to him, I'm sure. But we do want to thank Mr. Ackerman, if he watches this later, at any time, that we do appreciate everything he did for us. We did have him here at a meeting last year, so we hope he is enjoying his retirement. I'm going to go a little bit out of order. I know I have to wait for one person, some people to come. So I think we're going to move to Mr. Jack McManus. Would you like to come up here? Come on up here. Don't leave me up here by myself. Okay. Whereas Jack McManus has tendered his resignation as a maintenance custodian in the Oradell Public School District to become effective May 1st, 2021, after over 15 years of service, all of which were spent in dedicated and faithful service to the Oradell Public School District. And whereas he has influenced the lives of all in the community with the care and hard work he devoted to the buildings and grounds, with his deep understanding, and has earned their love and respect as well as that of their parents and their colleagues. And whereas he has given unselfishly of his time and effort in the interest and welfare of the children of our school district. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Oradell Board of Education hereby recognizes Mr. McManus's contribution to the district and expresses its appreciation of his dedicated services, and directs that this resolution be included in the minutes of the board and that a copy be presented to Mr. Jack McManus as a token of its esteem. We're going to take a picture with you.
Thank you. I didn't have a speech set to say, but every year of my 15 years here it was great. I loved everybody. And the best thing was being around the kids all the time. You can't get close these days to kids though, so it was tough, but I've got my grandkids.
Do you have family here tonight?
My wife.
Does she want to come down and take a picture?
You want to take a picture?
Come
Kat?
down and take a picture. And we always would see Jack here at night, late, right? All the time. We see-
Well,
we see you
early
all-
in my
early.
career.
Yeah, we saw you all the time, all over. Come here, come up here. Megan, why don't you come up too? First, just take that together. Okay, let's move to Ms. Leslie Fishbein. Whereas Leslie Fishbein has tendered her resignation as a LDTC in the Oradell Public School District to become effective July 1st, 2021, after 4 years of service in the district, 36 years dedicated to service to children. And whereas during her years in our school system, she has imparted her knowledge and understanding of the educational needs for the students of the Oradell Public School District. And whereas she has influenced the lives of many boys and girls with her deep understanding and has earned their love and respect, as well as that of their parents and her colleagues. And whereas she has given unselfishly of her time and effort in the interest and welfare of the children of our school district, now therefore be it resolved that the Oradell Board of Education hereby recognizes Ms. Fishbein's contribution to the district and expresses its appreciation of her dedicated services and directs that this resolution be included in the minutes of the board and that a copy be presented to Ms. Leslie Fishbein as a token of its esteem. You want to do it here or you want to do it from that side? Whatever makes you more comfortable. Do it from there. I'll hold it up for you.
Just thank you. You don't have to. Thank you so much. This is also overwhelming for me, so I just wrote it down so I don't stutter too much. I am in the wonderful company of others tonight who have spent the majority of their careers here in Oradell. Having worked continually within the field of education since 1985, I am lucky enough to have had these 4 years here in Oradell. It's been wonderful working with my team, having Marie at the helm, and still loving what I do every day. Thank you again for including me in this night of recognition and for the opportunity to do what I love with the people who definitely keep me entertained.
Like to say anything?
I stand at this microphone a lot, but as I was thinking about tonight, I was a little nervous. I don't get nervous very easily, but the truth is, Leslie knows more about her job and about children learning than pretty much anyone I've ever come across. I talk a lot, but when I'm with Leslie, I listen because I have learned so much. I know few people who are a stronger advocate for children. Sometimes as principal, I wish she wasn't as strong of an advocate for children because who knows what she's going to tell me they need, but I am so grateful. What she doesn't know is she remembers her interview here with Mr. Mistretta and me as, well, what kind of interview was that? We're a little laid back in our interview compared to other districts. What she doesn't know is I had to hold Mr. Mistretta back from running after her when she left the room because we said, we're not letting this one get away. We knew we had something special and we are so grateful that you stayed for a whole 4 years, that you didn't jump ship in January and you saw us through this year. And we do hope that in your new next steps, we might see you back in different roles over time. So good luck.
I see some people on Zoom. Rami, can you please unmute Gina Kim?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi. I didn't realize I'd be going first to honor Leslie. First, I'd like to congratulate all of the retirees, but I really just wanted to also just say something to Leslie. Leslie, we started this OPS journey 4 years ago together, and it has been a journey indeed, but throughout this time, you have always demonstrated your dedication to your students, to the parents, each and every day. And that has been evident in everything that you do at OPS. You've always put in the hard work, the long hours, and you've always made yourself available to your colleagues, to your students, to the parents, for any support that any of us need. And I'm so grateful that I have gotten that chance to know you and to have been supported by you and to have worked with you. The other thing that I will always remember you by and just respect you so much is just the way that you talk about your own family and your own children. I respect that so much about you, and it's so evident in the way that you talk about your 3 children and their accomplishments and just how proud you are of them. It's just, you light up when you talk about them, and I'll always just remember that part of you as well and just highly respect you for that. I will miss our laughs. I will miss being able to just call to you from my office and just be able to kind of just talk to you each and every day about anything that kind of comes up. And I wish you all of the best. I can't wait to hear about all of your adventures, about all of your plans. I know that you're going to do amazing things past retirement. And I know that we will keep in touch, and I can't wait to go to Hawaii with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Rami, could you unmute Sheila Orico?
Sorry. I feel like Gina just outdid me and we talked a lot about what we were going to say. But anyway, congratulations to all of the retirees, but of course, an extra special congratulations to Leslie. You were one of the first people to welcome me to OPS, and I will never forget that. I just, our lunch times together were always a good time. So, there was always good times. And again, you were always there, like Gina said, professionally. I was new coming into OPS, and you were always there for me. You would accept my, 8 o'clock, 9 p.m. panicked phone calls about what I may have done wrong. And you always calmed me down. You were there as a referee for me and Gina. But also, like I said, I'm always going to miss our lunch times together. But I know you have so many exciting things coming in your life. So I'm so happy for you for all of those. But I really hope you come to visit us during lunch and we can have some love trips together. But aside from that, Leslie, you've always been a great professional to work with, and I will miss you dearly. But I wish you the best of luck with all of your exciting things happening in your life coming up.
Thank you. Rami, would you unmute Ms. Candy? I'm not sure how to say her last name.
Can you see me? I don't,
We
Hello?
cannot see you, but we can hear you.
let me see if I can, okay.
There you go.
Okay. Leslie, we haven't known each other very long, but as an interim director earlier on in the year, and then once again stepping in just a week or two ago, I could see what an amazing professional you were in just the short amount of time that we have worked together. And at OPS, and I know the new director sitting out there, you are a dream team to work with, and you truly are. And it made coming there every day fun for me when I was there, because you opened, you're a very welcoming person, and you opened up and you shared information, and you all just work together so well. So it's going to be hard shoes to fill for sure. Nothing will quite be the same, but I wish you the best in retirement. And we've talked about it. Retirement's a great place to be. You could pick and choose what you want to do. So, but it's nice being able to get back in, and I know that you'll somehow do that too. So enjoy, and I will see you soon.
Thank you so much. Anyone else?
I don't speak publicly. Marie Menti. I'd like to say something about all of the retirees tonight. I've had the pleasure of working with each one of tonight's retirees during the course of my 24 years at OPS, and it's truly been a pleasure. Jack, it's only been shy of 2 months, but we already miss your friendly face around the building. Thank you for always making sure we were taken care of, whether it be bringing paper for the copy machine or food for a mid-morning snack to hold me over until lunchtime. I hope you'll come back to visit every now and again before the big move. Tony, who would have thought that living on the same street all those years ago, we'd end up working in the same school district? I really admire everything you did with the students here, and especially seeing all the beautiful artwork displayed throughout the building. I only wish we would have another ceramic snowman class before you officially leave. That was definitely a highlight in my books. Lots of fun. Jane, oh my God. Miss Jane and her preschool classes throughout the years. So many happy visits down in your class over the years. Such great memories, all the stories, out of the mouths of babes for sure. Yours was a classroom to go to if you were having a bad day. One visit would turn that right around. You worked wonders with our little friends, such a treasure to all of us. And Leslie, oh, Leslie. What should I say or not say? Well, I know that you're really nervous right now, wondering what I'm going to say. But you can relax. I'm going to be on my best behavior, or at least try. 4 years ago, you joined the team. Actually, the whole team joined the team. And for the first time, I was the oldest in our office, which included the boss, and I still am. I've seen just how much you care about the students since that time, and how you would go above and beyond what to do and make sure it was in their best interests. Your knowledge and program planning helped many students throughout the 4 years you've been at OPS. Our child study team has been through so many changes, both good and bad. We've laughed, we've cried, and we've all grown from everything that transpired. That's a good thing. You may want to write this date down because of what I'm about to say, but I'm actually sorry you're leaving. Who would have thought? All kidding aside, I wish you nothing but years of happiness through your retirement. You've certainly earned it.
Anybody else? Okay, so we have to take a picture. So any family that's here, we want to come down? They want to come down? Come on, family, come down. First, we'll do one with, come on up, Ms. Bozius. Let's do just those two first. Thank you so much. Okay, so I made an error. I've been doing this for a long time and I made a mistake. So Mr. McManus, come back up here. I forgot something. Sorry, come on up. I'm getting old. I'm losing it. Come on. I forgot to open up the floor. And I know there's people that want to say things to you. I forgot. I'm sorry. So is there anyone who wants to speak? I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm losing it.
Oh, Jack, look at this thing. Jack, can you fix this? like really? So, Jack, you were one of the first people I met when I came to OPS. And I remember seeing you with the largest toolbox I had ever seen in the history of the world, which was a bucket strapped to a hand truck. But that was your toolbox. And it served you very well for many years. And I remember meeting you with a genuine smile and an introduction. And you looked at me and you had said to me, and I knew you meant it, if there's ever anything you need, please let me know. And I'm going to tell you, after 6 years, You were not lying, sir. There is nothing that you can't do. You have single-handedly painted almost every inch of the inside of this building. You have changed over 17,000 ceiling tiles painstakingly. And I remember walking by you and thinking to myself, I swear he's been doing this for a couple months now, but I still got to keep going. But it was very, very impressive. For those of you that don't know, Jack has sucked up every single leaf that has fallen off of a tree for 15 years using a contraption that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. But he does it. And when you think about what people say about this building as they walk around, and they say, what a beautiful building and a beautiful school, and that is attributed to you and the hard work that you put in. People, I know it, right? But not many people know. Jack was once stung by 50 bees and then tried telling me that he didn't need to go to the doctor. And I felt legally he just should. But it just showed to what he wanted to do, which was continue to work, continue to help people. You know, when there were times where Jack, and I tell these stories because you don't want these stories to get lost. You know, there's times where Jack had a A-frame ladder in the bed of a pickup truck trimming a tree, and someone is calling because they need a cleanup, and he still answers, the first to answer that walkie-talkie, right? Or if someone called about anything, it was just your dedication, Jack, is something that is just really special. And when it comes to talking about, you know, you in general, it's just the theme of being helpful, and that was certainly achieved. So I wish you a very healthy and long retirement. I hope you enjoy fishing, because I know that's what you're going to be doing. I know it's your passion, and we're just extremely thankful, and I'm thankful to have known you all this time, and just to see how it doesn't matter what position you are in when you're working in a school, that the children still brought you joy, but yet you gave everything back to the school and to the kids because you did something for the betterment of the community. So thank you, Jack. Appreciate it. You got it.
I forgot about the bees. Don't go anywhere. We still have more. Brahmi, could you unmute Mr. McGill?
I should be faster at this by now. All right. I was so happy to hear that Jack was finally, we used to say, Jack, when are you going to retire? When? And he'd say like 3 years, 5 years, whatever it was. So the time has officially come. I would like to say that a teacher's most important asset, if you had the top three, the custodians would be one of them. And Jack has always been so helpful. And such a great friend to the teachers, working with them, saying the same thing that everybody's saying, but such a professional, always a cheerful outlook, and always did a great job. All the times he had helped me carry that dumb turtle tank, or empty the water, or bring down a full garbage, those giant garbage bags or pails full of water down the stairs. I can't say thank you enough. It certainly made my time in Oradell a lot easier to know I could always have someone that I could call when I needed. And I just like to say that you're definitely going to be missed in the halls of Oradell, New Jersey, and just wishing him the best in his retirement. And I hope we see you again sometime, but best of luck, Jack.
Rami, would you unmute Ms. Pisa?
Hi. I just wanted to say, I wanted to say congratulations to all the retirees. It's been an honor working with all of them. They've all dedicated themselves to OPS and to the children of Oradell, and they will be missed. But I also wanted to say, and Mr. McGill and Mr. Hagopian couldn't have said it any better, but Jack truly devoted himself to helping the teachers and helping the children in the halls of Oradell, from delivering my scholastic book orders that he knew I was waiting for to my classroom, to helping me build a new bench for my new classroom so the students would have a little cozy library, to helping me recognizing I had flat tires and putting air in my tires so I was able to leave at dismissal. He was always there to lend a helping hand, and he truly will be missed in the halls of Oradell. Thank you.
Thank you. Rami, would you unmute Ms. Albrecht?
Hi, I just wanted to say, Jack, we already miss you. And I know I speak for all the teachers when I say you could always, always, always count on Jack. Jack, I'm sure you don't miss me at all because you could ask Jack to do anything and he could do it. It didn't matter if it was painting, building, moving classrooms over the years. I mean, we all run to Jack. Jack, can you do this? Jack, can you help me with this? From even like taking things to my car, taking things out of my car, moving things, moving furniture, going from desks to tables, back to desk, whatever it was. And not only did he always do it with a smile, and he could absolutely do everything, but he was even the kind of guy, I mean, he would even ask how my daughter was and say, so how's her tennis going? So Jack, you will be truly missed. You could do everything, and we really needed you, and we still need you. Enjoy your retirement. You deserve it.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? Mr. Walsh?
Jack, on behalf of the Oradell Board of Education and the children of Oradell, in 15 years, you can imagine how many children have gone through the school. But I happened to be on Buildings and Grounds the year that you were hired. And the one thing that we missed in Oradell was maintenance, somebody who could handle the maintenance. You could see from the teachers' comments, the administration's comments, some of the things that were missing in those years. And I'm glad. Sometimes we do good as a committee. Sometimes we make the right decision. And you were one of those right decisions. So I want to thank you for your 15 years of Oradell Public School. Thank you.
What'd the doctor say about 50 bee stings? You never went.
Oh, geez.
my God. Mrs. Norian?
I just want to say, I met Jack when he first was hired, and I walk by the school all the time. And every time Jack was outside, he always stopped and said hello. I don't know if it was because I was a board member or if he just recognized me from somewhere, but it was always a pleasure to just be going by and be recognized by you with a big smile and hello. So thank you.
As Mr. McGill said, and Miss Pisa, when I was in college, there were 3 groups of people that our professors told us were most important in school: the secretaries, the custodians, and your local hardware store. So as an art teacher, those 3 groups were very important. But Jack in particular, I have in my room what every teacher wants: working pencil sharpeners. And the reason being is I don't order new ones every year. I order the replacement parts, and Jack puts them in every year, twice a year for me, so that kids all know Miss B's got the best pencil sharpeners. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you so much again. I apologize, I forgot before. Thank you. Okay, I'm going in order of years of service, so that brings us to Ms. Tony Boconfuso. Come on up. How are you? How you doing? Okay. Whereas Tony Boconfuso has tendered her resignation as an art teacher in the Oradell Public School District to become effective October 1st, 2021. That's true. We have her for 1 month next year, so we're excited. After over 22 years of service, all of which were spent in dedicated and faithful service to the Oradell Public School District. And whereas during her years in our school system, she has imparted her knowledge and understanding of the educational needs for the students of the Oradell Public School District. And whereas she has influenced the lives of many boys and girls with her deep understanding and has earned their love and respect, as well as that of their parents and her colleagues. And whereas she has given unselfishly of her time and effort in the interest and welfare of the children of our school district. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Oradell Board of Education hereby recognizes Ms. Boconfuso's contribution to the district and expresses its appreciation of her dedicated services and directs that this resolution be included in the minutes of the board and that a copy be presented to Ms. Tony Boconfuso as a token of its esteem.
Like the president, I have my notes. So first, I'd like to thank Ms. Bozios, Mr. Hagopian, and Mrs. Hawley for always supporting the arts. Whenever I wanted something, they tried their best to get what I needed. Help in the classroom or help in the hallways to put the art show up. They were there for me. I'd like to thank the Board of Education for financing the art department, because without you, then we wouldn't have one. And there are many schools that still don't have. They have an art department. The greatest asset I have in this school are my colleagues. The support staff are truly support staff. They come into my room, and if there's any time they have, I have 20 minutes. What can I do to help you? And they were always there to help me. If they're in the classroom with the students, there are some that know my routine so well, they could teach my class. I also would like to thank the teachers, all of my teachers. We laugh together, we cry together, and we have fun. But most of all, my daughter, Julia, who has been my rock for the last 27 years, but especially the last 8 months. And without her, I don't think I would have gotten through this last year. Thank you.
Open up the floor. Put it down. So I'm going to open up the floor. Anyone like to say anything?
So I had the pleasure of having my mom as my teacher for 5 out of the 7 years that I was here at OPS. And you've always come up with new projects and been so supportive of the students. And you always come home with the funniest stories about what happened in art class today. So that's something that will be missed. And I'm sure the students will miss you as well. And the new art teacher has big shoes to fill. That's it.
When I walked into OPS my first year, and I got a tour, a very long tour of the building by Mr. Hagopian, I walked into the art room and I was blown away by the beauty of that special space, and that we have a kiln. And then I looked and saw all the clay we had ordered for the kiln and thought, how do we possibly use all that clay? And I realized after my first couple of months here that every single child in this school has their hands in clay throughout the year. So they don't just learn to draw, They don't just learn to paint. They learn how to sculpt. Mrs. Bocconfuso teaches them a different way to see the world. She finds ways to help them plan a playground and design a playground by using foreground and middle ground and background. I remembered one of them. It was like 3 years ago, that observation. And she really helps children embrace the arts. As a mom, I often walk the halls and think, wow, I wish Parker had done something like that when he was in elementary school, because I'd framed that one. And my favorite art project is a simple one. It's the 6th grade birds, because the children really research each bird that they pick to draw. And Tony, you help them capture the essence of the bird. And then you always hang them on our tree, and they just magically appear there normally at the end of the year. And we have missed the art in the hallways this year. Your dedication has been shown so much this year. Just this week, you emailed the teachers and said, last year's projects are going to be in your hallways. Please dig through them and find your homerooms and hand them out. And that's so important, because as I'm walking the hallways, I'm seeing the beautiful artwork that our students have created. And their parents need that to hang it up and frame it, because not all of us get that from their child's art education. And that's incredibly special. I think your dedication not only was illustrated to us this year, it was tested a little bit. You started off the year and you had to learn how to Zoom and really how to teach art through Zoom. And the beginning of the year, you would text Michael or me if you needed a little help. And most of the time we'd get on and you'd be like, oh, well, that was simple. I can do that. And then you would add another layer, and you figured out how to engage kindergartners and 1st graders and 2nd graders in art online through Zoom. And then you had an oops, and you needed a little help with your hip, but you got back up and you came back in and you got back on Zoom. And then you sent the admin team an email that said your mom was not doing well. And you spent much of the fall and the winter caring for your mom while you were teaching through Zoom, which was not always comfortable, we know. And then about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, you emailed us to tell mom was on hospice. And Tony, I think you were Zooming from her bedside, and you were teaching our kids art while you were nursing your mom and while you were nursing your heart. And if that doesn't show dedication and someone who loves all of our children, I don't know what does. Typical mom doesn't want you to take any time off.
I have a class in 10 minutes. Yeah, she was a worker.
So you know how sorry we are for the loss of your mom, but we are so proud of how well you have done with your small hiccups and your large heartbreaks this year.
Thank you.
And it has been quite the memorable year for art. So thank you for not only all of your years of service, but really sticking it out this year and doing the very best that you could with what you had.
Thank
It
you.
was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rami, would you unmute Ms. Pisa?
So Tony, so I don't know where to begin. I have to say two things. One, the creativity that you brought out or bring out in the children of Oradell has always amazed me. The other thing that has always amazed me is your organization and your ideas and the way that you would jump right on board, because many a times I would call you up at the last second and say, Tony, I want to do something and I need oil pastels. And you'd say, what do you want to do? Nope, that's not what you need. You need the watercolor paints. Go to the back cabinet on the left, 2 shelves up behind the construction paper, and you will find exactly what you need. And then I'd say, well, how do you use it? And she'd say, you can talk to this student and this one knows how to do that. And this is what I want you to do. And you would send me all of the tips and strategies. Organization, when I'd come to pick the kids up a minute or two before the period would end, and the kids would be running around and cleaning and straightening, and the room would go from organized chaos to silence with immaculate desks in a matter of minutes. And I'd say, Tony, I tried to do that in my room, but it never works. And you said, oh no, that's just the way we work around here. But you always did a great job. And you will be missed not only for your artistic and educational talents and abilities, but for your companionship and for the fun we've had at lunch. You always had a great sense of humor and always had a great story to tell. So congratulations and enjoy retirement.
Rami, would you unmute Ms. Albrecht?
Hi, I'm going to end up saying things that Melissa just said, because I was thinking the same things. First of all, Tony, thank you for always giving me supplies at the last minute. You'd be like, Tony, do you have? And she always had it and she knew exactly where, even this year and last year, I would text you, do you have? Yes. And she tells me where it is and where to get it. And she was always willing to share her supplies. So I thank you for that. I just want to say your art shows are amazing, like honestly amazing. I think everyone will miss the art show. You put so much time into that, all hours of the day and night, hanging everything up, the work that you did with the kids all throughout the year, and organized. That's right, Melissa, organized, having everything so organized and knowing exactly where it was going to go. And one of the things that I will always remember, the cutout dolls. Marie still has hers hanging in her office. That was a fun, I think it was a PD we once had, and it was actually something fun, and that was great. And so thank you, Tony, for that. And as you know, my favorite project from even when I taught 6th grade, I would always say to you, the flowers. I don't know what, I mean, yeah, 3rd grade does it. Anyway, those flowers are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I'm so sad that you're leaving because I still have never been able to make one. So you will be very missed.
Anybody else?
So
can you just state your name?
Brian Amy.
Okay, for the record.
First of all, I'd like to say hi to some of the teachers up there that I know. Miss Albrecht, I know you're watching. Hi. The last day of 6th grade lunch, or the last day we had lunch in 6th grade, I was talking with some friends and we were going over our favorite teachers from our time in OPS. And I brought up you, obviously, because you were such an inspiration, you and your daughter. Thank you. And one of my friends said, why? Needless to say, he's not really my friend anymore. But you have put me on a path to greatness in ways that you will not ever understand. The way you raised your daughter, the way she babysat me, the way I threw my Wii remote at her and she tolerated it. I threw that hard. I could have bruised her or broke her rib. You are such an excellent teacher. You're such an excellent mother. You have influenced so many kids' art lives, and you have no idea how much you will be missed in this community and how much everyone else in OPS will miss you for generations and generations to come. And the future art teacher, I don't know who you are, but you better take that curriculum and stick with it because it worked. Thank you so much.
Anybody else? Okay. Oh, Mrs. Norian.
I just wanted to say, Ms. Boconfuso, you didn't get many of the Norian children, but you did get the tail end. And actually, Sarah was a studio art major in college. I thought you'd like to know that, and that she studied in Florence. So we have the result of the things that you started in our home. Of course, she's not using it now. She's teaching math, but you know, those things kind of go together. So that works out. And Haley, also, I still have the artwork that she did while she was under your care in my house because I'm not allowed to throw it away.
She has random students' artwork hanging up.
That's pretty bad. Anybody else? Oh, Mrs. Shapiro?
Ms. Boconfuso, there are people when they come to school, and there are gym people and there are art people. We're art people, right? We're like, yes, it's art today. Some of you can't relate, but I can. And in my house, it was like, yes, there's art today. I have so many random thoughts I just wanted to share with you. You always help the PTA with the reflections workshops. You just did it. You stayed after every year, year after year. You helped them get launched on their projects. And you didn't have to, but you did. And we really appreciated that. It's been mentioned, but it deserves to be mentioned again. You had phenomenal organization with over 700, 800 projects in your room in these like slots. And it was all perfect. And it was miraculous how you kept track of all of this artwork for all of these grades. We did love the art show. It was a tradition of running from some ball field outside and coming kind of in your cleats in the softball or baseball uniform. And then as a mom, you run around the entire building. Well, we got to go find my this, and we got to find my skeleton, we got to find my flowers. And just, you knew like that was coming, and we all looked forward to it. And it was beautiful. I have many shelves in my house still with these clay sculptures that were made with you in your room, lots of them. I was amazed one time I came in, I was like, this room is spotless. And you were like, oh my God, it's such a mess. And I was like, oh God, it was spotless. And that was amazing that you kept so many projects going while keeping control of your room. You've launched for the art kids and some non-art kids that you've nurtured that love of art. And Amanda just got inducted last night into Riverdale's Art Honor Society. So, it started here and it kept going, Okay. I wanted to just, thank you for so many years. And it was so fun. When you'd see in the wall, it wasn't like, oh, that one. So you brought out that artist in everybody. And I think that's what every art, right? We're all artists, right? Even the ones who love art, the ones who hate art, you're all capable of doing beautiful work. And I feel like you really brought that out of all of the children from itty bitty to 6th grade. So I just thank you for all of your years here. And I wish you all the best and I really enjoy retirement. Okay. Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. Come down. We can't hear you.
Come on.
Mrs. Boconfuso. So I've had
Just
the
state your
pleasure-
name for the record.
Oh,
for us.
Lisa Taglione, 3 kids come through your classroom, as you know. This is truth. No, I'm so short. This is making me crazy. This is truth and not a lie. I recently moved back to my childhood home in Oradell, and I've been going through all kinds of things. I have 2 pieces of artwork that came from your classroom that are sitting on a table because I'm taking them to have them framed. And one of them is a flower picture. It was Charles, my last one that came through. And he said, Mom, are you serious? Like, you're going to frame that? I said, you're darn right I am. I said, because it's beautiful. I love it. And it's a memory that I'll always have. But the other thing that I have, and again, this is no exaggeration, 3 giant Ziploc bags, one for each child, filled with those memories and those beautiful pieces that I just could never let go of. And your leaf plates. Love those. I've always loved them. I kept saying to Charles, when you come with your leaf plate? Are you guys making the leaf? When's it coming? Well, it finally did. So 3 of those are displayed always in my living room. And those are beautiful things. My kids have no natural artistic talents particularly, but somehow you manage for them to come home with these beautiful pieces. And I know I'll always cherish them. I thank you for that.
Anybody else? Okay, family, come up for a picture, sorry. Oh, there is. Oh. Oh, can we unmute Michelle?
Okay. Whew. Wow. I'm sorry I joined a little bit late, but I wanted to say, Tony, it's probably like a federal crime to steal student artwork from the hallway. So I'd like to say thank you for saving me from federal prison. You always talked me out of stealing my favorite 3rd grade watercolor. And it actually took, if you recall, one of the best times I remember ransoming a ceramic snowman sample of yours. And as Marie said, that snowman making class with the teachers was one of the greatest things. Sitting in your room for lunch, oftentimes just laughing and feeling very comfortable and looking around. I always was amazed at what you could do and how you could, convey that to kids. And you inspired me, and I still I'm with Helene. I would like to learn how to make those watercolor flowers, but if I can't, I'd love to know if I can commission all of your samples that I loved over the year, if you would sign them, and I'll just send a big fat check for them. Thank you so much for all the extra Odyssey glitter and the big fat crochet needles that we needed for things over the years. You've always been there to tell me the right kind of paint to use. And if the kids were stymied about how to go about something, you were always there. So thank you for that. Good luck to you.
Anybody else? Okay, family, come on up. Oh, you can't go anywhere. Come on, everybody, everybody.
Get back up there. We've got enough video.
Thank you, Ms. Boconfuso. Okay, last but not least, Ms. Jane Heedy, 23 years.
Watch your step.
Yeah, don't trip for your last night here. Oh my goodness, it's adorable. Look at him. I'll have to come up here. Okay, whereas Jane Heedy has tendered her resignation as a preschool teacher in the Oradell Public School District to become effective July 1st, 2021, after over 23 years of service, all of which were spent in dedicated and faithful service to the Oradell Public School District. And whereas during her many years in our school system, she has imparted her knowledge and understanding of the educational needs for the students of the Oradell Public School District. And whereas she has influenced the lives of many boys and girls with her deep understanding and has earned their love and respect as well as that of their parents and her colleagues. And whereas she has given unselfishly of her time and effort in the interest and welfare of the children of our school district. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Oradell Board of Education hereby recognizes Ms. Heady's contribution to the district and expresses its appreciation of her dedicated services and directs that this resolution be included in the minutes of the board and that a copy be presented to Ms. Jane Heady as a token of its esteem. Go ahead, here, I'll move.
Bowen. Want to go see Grandma? Go see Grandma. Come here, Grandma. He was going to be there anyway. Okay, so this is why I'm leaving. He's one of 6 now, 6.5, right? Yeah. I just want to thank everybody. It's been a great 23.5 years. I've worked with the best people, the best kids, and even the best parents. So just thank you. And I'll miss you all.
I'd like to open it up to anyone who would like to say something.
Mr. Griffin, do you remember when I gave you a tour of Oradell Public School before your first child started? And I walked you into this auditorium and I told you Chief Oradell was part of our history and part of our tradition. And that bell is part of our tradition. That's part of who we are. That is OPS. Jane Heady, you are OPS. You are the person that has welcomed parent after parent into this community. And you didn't just make them feel safe and secure. You always did the hard conversations too. I was talking to a parent recently that told me if it wasn't for Jane Heady, my child would be a jerk right now. Literally, she actually used a different word, which I won't say at the public board meeting, because you told her there's some behaviors we've got to get into control or you're going to be sorry later. You've had those conversations. There are children, I've been looking back at all the kids you've taught at Oradell Public School since our student management system. I didn't know some of them passed through your program because you gave them what they needed and you put them on a path to success. And this community, I know, is so grateful. The number of parents that said, if it wasn't for Jane Heady, I don't know where I'd be. So the best gift I think I can give you right now is a promise. I promise you that Miss Kalakin will always have a walking partner. And I promise you that I'll take care of your kids.
Rami, would you unmute Ms. Castro?
Hey, stick around.
Careful.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I just wanted to say congratulations to all of the retirees. You will be missed. Miss Jane, you taught all 3 of my boys, and I couldn't be more grateful. I will keep this brief because I know I will see you, thank goodness. You have done so much for our family. You've shaped the way I parent and have had a huge impact on all 5 of us. You have a gift, and I'm so happy you're a part of our lives. I hope you enjoy retirement, your beautiful grandchildren. Hi, Bowen. Thank you for everything and congratulations.
Thank you. Rami, would you unmute Ms. Shaw?
Hi, Jane. Jane and I go back to when her first son, Warren, was in 4th grade, and I had the pleasure of teaching him. We had to go around the room and give her an adjective in front of our name that started with the same letter. And Warren stood up very proudly and said, "I'm wonderful, Warren." And Warren has been As Jane has always been wonderful. We didn't often see each other very much, but whenever she was with her kids, or I, as Marie said, had a bad day and stopped by, because her room always lifts me up. Jane has always been caring, like a constant force that just made you feel like it was all going to be okay. She was always cheerful, always very interested in things that were going on at school, things that were going on personally. She used to bring her kids to see the Odyssey dress rehearsals and things. I'm just going to miss you, Jane, because like I said, you were just someone I'm going to miss seeing in the hall every now and then, and just asking how the kids are, asking how the grandkids are. So enjoy them, have a ball. You deserve it. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? Before we take a picture, come on up.
I'm back. Whoever your grandson is, I probably wasn't much older than him when I first met you. And how was I, like 4? 5? No way. I trust her more than you. But like Ms. Boconfuse, so you were the first teacher I ever had here. And I think even more than her, since you were the first one, you just constantly were a shoulder for me to cry on then, and not really crying now, but more like I just kind of vent to you now. You're just such a friendly person, and I see why you were chosen for the position. You're just the perfect fit for being the teacher of these little ones, and they're gonna miss you. The ones that I'm pretty sure the ones that even met you, they're gonna miss you, and I'm sure of that. Just thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Amy Penna, Miss Amy to you, and will always be Miss Jane to me. I am overwhelmed. It's like a divorce, but not really. I want to wish you the best because you deserve it. I'm so glad that you speak Amy talk because things wouldn't happen. We called you Doris Day, and I'm going to miss saying that to you. I wish you the best, and good luck. See you tomorrow. Oh, the next day. The next day. I had so much more to say, but I can't. I know. So, love you.
Thank you.
Michelle Clarkin, I'll be good. I won't be a few words because I was hired not to be a few words. It's actually been almost 10 years to the day since I first met you. And I can't just say since I first met you, but since I first met you and Amy. I came for an interview with Tom Santagato. And when Ed didn't hear from me for 2 hours, he was like, what happened? And I just said, I have to get this job. I have to have it. I spent an hour and a half in the room with you guys, and I had to be here. And that's the effect that you have on everybody. I didn't know I had already been working for about 15 years at that point, and I didn't think I'd get another mentor, but I did. And I've learned from you every day. I watch you shepherd families from places of fear and uncertainty and what's going to happen to acceptance and success and hard work. So you make people trust you from that first day. They go, I've never left my kid before. They're going to cry. What are they going to do? Can I come in the classroom with them? And it made me realize you invented, I got this. I got this. And so, yeah. Okay. And your problem solving is amazing. Every morning, one of us comes in and is like, I was thinking in the shower and I came up with this, or she assigns Mr. Jane to build a wooden stand for a peanut ball for one of our little peanuts to sit on. it's just amazing. And I'm so lucky to have been a part of it for all these years with you and with Amy. You guys taught me what it means to be a team. I do have to say, it's not only the kids and families of OPS, but there were these boys that were 3 and 6 when I met you, and they've definitely been the beneficiaries of your advice. The fact that they were able to pour bowls of cereal for themselves. And here's one of her best tidbits. If they make the bed, don't straighten it. So I don't, with a lot of restraint. You have really big shoes to fill, but we're gonna happily accept your replacement. And you have big walking shoes to fill. I have a Google Doc ready, Megan. So I'm gonna need some walking partners. Yeah, I wish you so much happiness and fun and grandma time. But wait, Amy and I have something. With the help of Amy and Missy and Megan, Amy and I contacted everyone who's ever come to the class. Well, they're only digital records as far back as 2003. They don't go back as far as you've been here. Those are in boxes in a basement somewhere. So because you're the most humble person, and we just wanted you to see over time and keep forever notes that everyone has written you, so you have a lasting way to remember the impact you've made on everyone here. We love you.
Anybody else before it's picture time with our friend here? Oh, come on up.
How much time do I have? I have a lot to say. This is hard. I have a lot to say. Jane knows already, because I've said it a million times, her and her dream team will always have a very special place in my heart. My 20-year-old came through her classroom, and my 13-year-old went through your classroom. And for me, it was an honor for them. It was a blessing for them to have come through. People don't talk about kids with special needs too much. They don't like to talk about it, but it can be daunting for a parent, and they don't like to admit that, but it is. But coming through your classroom, it made it easier. It made it a lot easier. I always appreciated how direct you were, but I listened to everything you said. And my Mary finished her 2nd year of Montclair. She is getting awesome grades. This kid who I thought would never do homework on her own, and I can tell you that's exactly the words I've said to my husband many years ago. I don't think she's ever going to do homework on her own. But so much of her success started there in your classroom. And I remember those kids from that class begging Jane to come to their T-ball game. These little teeny kids, please, Miss Jane, come to our T-ball game, come to our T. And she did, and she came. And I remember how thrilled they were to see you. It just made them so happy. There's just not enough to say about her and what she has given these kids, what she's given the families. Because when you go through that preschool, it becomes your family. And she is the best. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Rami, would you unmute VJ Castro?
Hello?
We can hear you.
Yeah, hi. I know my wife had come on earlier and had said a few words about Miss Jane. So I just wanted to come on as well. And the fact that we're coming on tells you how impactful she was to our family. And I just wanted to say that, you know, Miss Jane, you were our first experience with the public school system. And it was so impactful to our family. Teaching all three of our children special needs, it was just, I can't tell you how important it was to us. And I just speaks for, I can't even say anything else. I just wanted to say thank you. And, I actually have somebody else here that wants to say thank you as well.
Hi, Miss Jane. As you might know, this is the voice of AJ Castro. I wanted to say thank you for being my first teacher and for making me a not angry AJ.
Oh.
Thank you so much, AJ.
You're welcome.
Good luck. Congratulations. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, I have to take a picture. Where's, come on. Oh, Miss.
I
Well,
just
they're
wanted
you
to
can come
say
up.
that I got to know Miss Jane as the mother of another child in the classroom. Our daughters are the same age. And so I've known her for a long time. I also know Mr. Jane. Oh, okay, he's outside, so I can talk about him. We always talk about, he played soccer in college, and he played at the college that I went to. So that's always our greeting as we drive around Oradell. So I've gotten to know you as a friend, but since you joined the staff here, I got to see you in a totally different dimension. And I really, really have enjoyed that. You are the perfect grandmother now that you have a little girl to spoil as much as you've spoiled all the boys. And you have special times ahead of you. And I wish you the very best. And don't be a stranger.
Okay, come on up for a picture. And we always need subs, so you don't have to miss us that bad.
Well, then he's off. Hey, Owen. Wait. Here he comes.
So I wanted to get Miss Noreen or Mr. Grimpier. I wanted to get a picture of all the retirees together, but I think Mr. McManus left, right?
Yeah.
So Ms. Bozius, you think you could coordinate that in school we could put it in the newsletter? What do you think? Is that possible? Is that okay? Okay. So that concludes this portion of our meeting. You don't have to feel guilty if you leave. We're going to take a 5-minute break, but I want to thank everyone for coming. And like I said at the beginning, this is really one of our favorite nights. And I think everyone could see really when you hear what our retirees colleagues say, the parents, the students, their admins here. It's amazing, really. I think it really shows, the true OPS community in the heart of OPS. So we thank everyone for coming. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Don't feel guilty about leaving. If you would like to stay for our meeting, you're more than welcome. But thank you all for coming.
She
That's okay. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, and good luck.
Sorry that we're not. Congratulations.
Hi.
Hey, where you going?
Yeah.
All right, where are we at? Are we still on the first page?
Yep.
Still in my report?
But we-
Oh
we
my
took
God,
some
we're
of the
still
middle
in my
out.
report. Holy moly. Oh, Lord. We can do it. We can do it. All right. So also normally tonight we would do staff recognition and also teacher of the year. But I believe we're going to do it all together in September at the beginning of the year. And then next year, we're going to do it twice. Actually, we'll do them in the spring also. Okay. Our interim superintendent could not be here this evening, so business administrators report.
Tough act to follow there. Just want to say once again, congratulations to all the retirees. Not much else could be said. We're going to miss you. So with that being said, I'd just like to point out on tonight's agenda, under the finance resolution D22, it's the third round of federal funding that the district's going to be receiving. So this is the American Rescue Plan. It's similar to the CARES Act and the ESSER Act as far as the allowable uses for the funds. The administration will be getting together shortly and devising a plan on how we can use these funds in the best way possible. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll move to minutes. Review of May 26th. Any questions or comments, please email Mr. Marmora. Now we move to approval of May 12th. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the meeting minutes of May 12th.
Second.
Second by Mr. Darian. Any questions? Call the question.
Mrs. Needham,
Yes.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
Mrs. Norian,
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Darian,
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols.
Yes, buildings and grounds, Mr. Darian.
Nothing new to report. We have not had a subcommittee meeting since our last meeting. But I would like to introduce items B1 for facility use.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Walsh. Any questions? We did have a flood. You may want to tell our board.
I was kind of hoping to talk about that in new business.
Oh, okay. Any questions? Call the question.
Mrs. Needham,
Yes.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
Mrs. Norian,
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Darian,
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols.
Yes, curriculum, Mrs. Norian.
No report at this time.
Finance, Mrs. Shapiro.
I have no report, so I feel like we're probably due for a meeting soon to, go over year-end items and wrap everything up. I'd like to move items D1 through D22.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Walsh. Any questions? Mrs. Needham?
Just a question or maybe a clarification on D21 and maybe how different it is from D22.
Okay, so D21 is accepting the IDEA grant, which is a grant, it's a federal grant for special education purposes only.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Any other questions or comments, Mr. Darian?
I have a comment. So on D, whatever that number is, for the security improvements. Does anyone see that number?
Is this for the cameras?
Yeah.
The cameras are in the beginning somewhere. Let me see.
Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
D3, is that what you want? D3?
D3.
D3 is the cameras?
Oh, okay. Let me look at my old agenda because I wrote it down there. All right. Yeah, I wanted just to make a comment. D3, last board meeting, we accepted a grant for $39,735. And it looks like tonight we're going to spend $43,999, just like the Darien household. So, so while we're spending, basically $44,000, it's really not 44,000. I mean, we're getting a lot of grants on this. So I just wanted to make a comment. That's all.
Any other questions? Call the question?
Mrs. Needham,
Yes.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
Mrs. Norian,
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Darian,
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols.
Yes. Delegate report, Mr. Walsh?
I have nothing to report.
Personnel, Mrs. Walker is not here. Mrs. Norian, would you take that?
Yes, I'd like to present F1 through F6.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Walsh. Any questions? Call the question?
Mrs. Needham,
Yes.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
Mrs. Norian,
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Darian,
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols.
Yes. Mrs. Levy isn't here. Who is on? Oh, Mrs. Shapiro, you want to take the first reading?
Sure. So tonight I present G1 for first reading on these two policies.
So if you have any questions on the policy or anything, email Mrs. Levy and the superintendent and the policy committee. Public relations, Mr. Griffin and I had a conversation and we need to get together with Mr. Darian to discuss what we're going to do about this committee. So until we do that, we'll move to COVID task force.
No new update at this point.
At this time, open to the public. If you're joining us on Zoom, please raise your digital hand. Okay, moving forward, any old or new business from the board?
I have some new business. I'll keep it brief. Was it yesterday? It was only yesterday we had that rain. And we had some flooding in the building. It was a little more than what we've seen recently. The faculty lounge, in the new area, that basement. Apparently the water had risen in the back in the parking lot and it came through the doors and it flooded that area. Also a storage room and the boiler room. So we're looking into ways to see if we can fix that so that it doesn't happen as often. But, this is not a normal event. So, but fortunately we didn't have anything major, it was just tile floors, concrete floors with tile. So I thought I'd bring that up. There's also the governor's decision, right? Last Friday regarding masks and whether masks should be optional. I don't think, tonight is a good night to talk about it, but, it signals that we're getting to the end of this pandemic and all these emergency orders are now ending. And for public meetings, there are no restrictions. So like tonight, as an example, we're not wearing masks, we're not restricted to social distancing, et cetera, et cetera. So I just wanted to recognize that things are happening pretty quick. I know that, throughout the shop talk in the school industry, a lot of schools have already adopted, recommendations regarding masks. So something for us to think about.
Along those lines, I know we talked about Zoom, staying Zoom, not staying Zoom, and a lot of schools we've been hearing are maybe doing like a live YouTube where you can watch the meeting, like town council does also. But you'd have to come here in person if you want to speak. So something we're gonna have to watch, see what the districts are doing, but that seems to be kind of where a way a lot of districts seem to be going. So we'll just have to keep watching it, I guess. Any other old or new business? I did send out an email. There's going to be a small parade, so keep that in mind. I did hear from some of you. Okay, if there's no other old or new business, we do need to go into a closed session for personnel reasons. So if someone would make a motion,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Catherine, and then seconded by John. We will not be taking any action afterwards.